Well guys, today I'm going to do an installation of the sideboard on a 2016 Range Rover Sport. I believe it's going to be the same installation steps from the 2013 model onwards. So I'll go through all the steps and I'll mention all the tools that's needed as well. It takes a good couple of hours to do it. It is a little bit difficult, but hopefully this video will make it a little bit better. Go through the screws that we need to remove. There's one here which we're going to use a ratchet set, and that's a PZ2 head star screwdriver. We've got underneath, we've got to move these ones. They need a plastic removal tool. I think there's about 5 or 6 of them. Then you've got these bolts here we need to move, and then we've got a few more behind there, and I'll go through them. So once you've taken that screw off, just slide it forward. We don't need to take that one off, and then we'll go into the next steps. Next we need to take this one off, but for some reason my one's missing. Then we're going to take that one off over there. So after you've taken this one and the other one off, I'm going to go ahead and remove these ones. What I tend to use is a plastic removal tool, which can be purchased from Halfords. It's not that expensive, but it does make the job a lot easier. So slide it through, and then literally that's so. And if you haven't got one of these, you could always put a flat screwdriver here and pull it down, and you have to keep the base inside and literally pull this side. After you've pulled that, we need to pop the base off. That's easy. You can just put your hand behind here and pop that one off like so. So we've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them like that. Right, once you've taken these off, next we need to remove 3 screws using the same ratchet and the PZ2. Once you've taken these off, just be careful to leave them in a safe place. I normally put a little bit in like that, so it adds a little bit of weight. It's a bit windy, so if you keep them separate, in my experience, they've blown away and I had to go chasing for them. So after you remove these 3 screws, keep all the screws in a safe place. I'd ideally keep it near where the screws are taken out, so you can remember where they go. Then there's 2 screws at the back of the inner wheel arch, rear wheel. You've got to change the head. So from a PZ2, you've got to put a 8mm socket. So after you've taken this last bit off, the back one could be a little bit fiddly. Once you've taken the last bit off, this just pops out. But all you got to remember is this is the last bit that goes on. I'll show you what I mean, because it can be hard to put back together. We're going to take this bit out, this black bit. So when we put it back together, this black bit goes in first, underneath this plastic, and then this rear mudguard will just go like so at the end. Okay, so that's just come out. Put the screws in there, so remember that these screws are for this mudguard. Next we need to go underneath the car. Be careful that these doesn't come out, because if they come out, then your screws won't go in afterwards. Next we need to take off these bolts, and I believe there's 4 or 5 of them, but they go all along the car. So I'll quickly grab the socket bit and I'll let you know what bit you need. So you need a 10mm socket for this. I'm just using an extender because it's a little bit hard to reach the back ones. So yeah, I'll tell you exactly where it's located again. So yeah, that one's there. Okay, so I've just taken one off. That was a bit of a nightmare because the screw was a little bit rusted. So yeah, there's another one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe. But just follow this black plastic. Wherever this touches the chassis of the car, that's the one that you got to take out. This black. So when you come along here, make sure you don't take this one out, and make sure you don't take that one out. It's this one you got to take. So just follow this black plastic all the way around. So just to recap, the 10mm socket doesn't fit the middle one that can mistakenly be taken out. So just follow wherever the 10mm socket fits. So if you go back to there, don't fit, so which is good. We don't want to take that one out anyway. So after I've taken all the other ones out, there's 2 more. One here, one there, just before the front wheel. They're both 10mm sockets as well. Now that you've taken all the outer screws out, and we've done the inner arch ones on both sides, the hardest bit now is where this plastic is underneath the side skirt. There's 10mm screws. The reason why I say it's hard is when you put the 10mm socket in again, this wants to go back, so you got to use one hand to hold this, but don't pull it too hard, you might damage the plastic, and just enough so it gives way for your spanner set to come through. You know what I mean, socket set, and then you just turn them around. So it's 10mm ones again, and you've got one. I think there's 6 altogether. You'll see them as you go along. Like this, the screw bit stays inside on the frame of the car, and this will just come out like this afterwards. But you've got to take all of them out before we take it out. This last one can be a little bit tricky. Well, it's behind this last flap, and this one's quite strong to hold. So if you just a little bit of patience, and you should be able to get through. Screws taken out. What you need to do, just take a picture of where this black plastic goes back in. So just remember that this plastic goes behind the inner wheel arch here, and underneath this black plastic here. And the way to take it out is drop the bottom first. Sorry, excuse me, there's a lot of dust coming through. And then once you've taken all of it down, take all of them down, and then pull the plastic bit, and literally with the other hand, the other side. Just a tip, these inner ones, if you grab it from the inside and just pull it towards you, it should be fine. It gets a little bit bendy, it's fine. That's it. There you go. So the black plastic bit is out. We've got fit on the 2 new brackets now. But unfortunately the bracket goes around here, so this overlaps it a little bit. So we've got to cut this frame out a little bit. I'll show you how to do it in a bit. So these are the brackets that's going to be fitted on the car. If you get your side step out, the thinner bit goes at the front, and the thicker bit at the end it goes at the back. So you need to work out which bracket goes to the front. It's usually the one that's cornered off. So just to double check it, just bring it underneath. You see that it fits there perfectly. Okay, so the way we put it in is that way, like so. So I'm going to go underneath the car, quickly show you how to put it on. Kit comes with screws and washers. Sorry, that's from the other one. These washers, they go on the smaller screw, which goes onto the actual board. So the bolts that you're going to screw onto the car will be the bigger ones, and you don't really need washers for them, they don't come with it anyway. To put these on, you're going to need a 14mm socket. You're going to need a bigger ratchet set, the other one's too small. Underneath the car you're going to see screws, which is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's where the first bracket goes. Just put the front 2 on. Always make sure that you put the front 2 bolts on first of the bracket, and then put the last 2 on at the back. I had to use another extender because it was touching this black pipe. Don't over tighten these, because in my experience, if you over tighten them, they start spinning on the spot, and then your thread's all gone and it could cause you more problems. So just do it until it's tight, and then I'll say another quarter turn, and then that should be fine. Right, on the second one, this is just the passenger side. You've got these 2 pipes going through. There's a screw there. You're gonna have to unscrew that with a 10mm socket. And then there's a rubber bit here. This does catch the bracket, the other end. So you've got to ideally move that from here to about just there. It does open up, it's like a little clip. So you just open it up and then you move it. Okay guys, the bracket's on. Little bit of a nightmare. I had to take this one off. And this black bracket was the other way around, but I had to twist it the other way around so it will fit there, and it's pushing just against that. But I put the rubber on there and metal's not touching metal, so it's fine. So yeah, and this bracket has 3 screws. It's got the 3rd one there and 2 here, 1 and 2 just behind there. So yeah, the next step is just to show you, this is the back one that I'm doing. So when it touches that, literally get a knife and you literally add it a little bit there, and there. Same with this. So here, so that's what it look like. Cut down there, and I've taken it out, and again here, cut it down here, and then just take it out. What you can do, you could also cut from here and go all the way across. But I like to have it a little bit neat, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So I've put all the screws back on. What you need to do is this plastic one, after you've done that one, do the ones that are underneath here, and then do the mud flaps. Because when you do that flexibility, when you pull that, the flexibility will pull that away. So you need to do underneath that one first, and these should be second to last. And the last ones, if you can remember, are these. Okay, they're the last ones that you put on. Push the base of it in first. You might need to use a hammer in this case. There you go. That one goes in there, and then you push that one in, like so. Step is to put your side step, and then underneath you've got to line up the screws. As you can see, just make sure it's very center. Put the washer in first and then the screw, like so. And then you're done. There you have it, side step done. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you could give us a like and a comment, that'd be great. Thank you.